If for someone who's not currently serving in any kind of ministry, I would encourage them to pursue that. I don't think we can fully grow as God wants us to grow as believers if we're not serving. If we're just taking in but not giving out, we get bloated. So it's a part of our own growth and development. And then also just understanding that this is an opportunity to make an eternal difference. Too many people just trudge through life and do things that they don't have a sense of purpose about and don't find fulfillment in. But when you're doing something for God, you know that it matters, and you know that it matters eternally.
I'd say get involved. I said it might be scary at the beginning. You're unsure what you need to do, but just get down on your hands and knees and pray, and God will show you where you need to be, because life is so short and we have so much work to do for the Lord. And if we don't get out there now, and when you listen to the stories of the girls in prison, you think, why wasn't someone there to help them when they were young? Possibly they would not be in the position that they're in.
I would say this, to really step out boldly, and you will be so amazed at what God does and how and I say He's got your back, and from my own personal experience I can tell you, God is just so awesome in what He does and how He reveals Himself. I've learned so many lessons from God, not my way but His way, which is so hard, and God being the anchor of my life, and He's shown me, if I let that happen, what He can do. So I would just say, just be bold, just be strong in knowing that God's got you in all areas, how you step out boldly in what you do.
You gotta have lots of times you gotta have somebody pushing you along and saying, keep on, don't give up, because it's really, you get discouraged in everything. Any ministry, you can talk to anybody that's involved in ministry, and there's discouragement. Mm-hmm. Because things don't always work like you want them to. They don't. If you're trying to get recognized for it, then it's the wrong purpose anyway. But you don't. Sometimes you think, nobody cares. Nobody cares if I do this or not, so why do it? You see Live at Five and all these ministries getting recognized, but that's not what it's all about. It's about helping, doing something for somebody else.
Sometimes we get so busy doing things inside the church that we don't listen to what the Spirit lays on our heart to do outside of the church. And that's the whole purpose of church, is to make disciples, and you can't make disciples if you're not aware of the opportunities you have in the world to reach people for Christ, and that is sometimes comes through very practical ways. Why would someone want to listen to us about Christ if they're sitting there hungry or needing clothes or a coat or needing a friend? They're not going to listen to us until those needs are met, and then we've earned the right to share with them that there's more than just this need, that you need Jesus in your life.
If you are not currently serving in a ministry but kind of wondering what the possibilities are, to take some time to think about what might fit well with your family. And every single ministry might not be the perfect fit for you, but going to Riverwood works really well with younger kids because the residents there don't see many kids that often, so they're really excited about it. And so just kind of look around, gather information, and take a deep breath and try something.
I think we would give the same encouragement that we had, and that's to really ask yourself the question, if you could do anything in life, what would you do? What do you feel like God would call you to do? And then step back and think, well, maybe God is calling me to that. And then take that step, whatever that means. For us, it meant a total life change. I don't think that means the same thing in every case. But sometimes we never even stop to think, to ask the question, if we could do anything, what would we do? And the reality is maybe that's just what God's asking us to do. I think what prepared Mandy and I more than anything to really run the Restoration House and to open it was our experience growing up. I've heard so many people say, I'm not ready for this, I don't know about this. And I think what we have to realize is that, in the same way with Moses, that God is really training us up all throughout our life. And so more than anything, what prepared us was our experience. And then it was being willing to be a learner and fill in those gaps with the other people that were around us. I think we need to not discount our experiences in life. And and understand that the things that we get taken through in life and the things that God allows us to experience might just be that jumping off point to minister in the lives of others. And I think more often than not that's true. And we've just got to be willing to take time and process that, heal ourselves if it requires that, and then really ask ourselves, how can we jump off into that into the lives of other people?
When you're just around Christians all the time, and you really don't know what's going on. And I just didn't want to stay in my comfort zone. I want to get out of my comfort zone. Get out of your comfort zone and do something. No matter what it is, do something. If it's just saying some kind word to somebody at the store or making somebody's life better, just do it. Just get out of your comfort zone. Because if you don't get out of your comfort zone, you're never going to minister to anybody.
I think the motivation that I get right now is the girls at jail. And you know, we've even served communion a couple of times, and I can just see in their lives that they're growing. It's not always happy-go-lucky there, but through being with those girls and showing them love and showing them God's love, it's just incredible.
Because it makes me think, how many times have maybe I not listened to God when He was trying to tell me to do something? What opportunities have I missed for His kingdom because I wasn't listening?
I think we have to be willing to stop and slow down long enough to take ourselves out of our normal everyday experience and really ask the tough questions. What is God asking me to do that I've not been slow enough to hear yet? And asking ourselves that question, you know, what is God calling us to do? And then being willing to take that chance and that jump no matter where that leads us. I think for Mandy and I, some of the discernment process was, some of it was that gut feeling and really kind of trying to understand where the Spirit was leading in that. I think it was also hearing the voices of others in our lives. We had a lot of people who were coming around us saying, you know what, that makes sense for you. I mean, that's something that I see in you already, and it's something that I would encourage you to take that jump. And they were willing to help us think through that and process through it and pray with us through it. And so we didn't feel like we were really going into it alone.
Why I do things is because I totally think of the cross. Because God loved me so much. I cannot fathom that. But God loved me so much that if I could just be a little of that love back to others, that's what motivates me. That's what brings me such joy when I can love someone who's so unlovable because God loved me. So that's my husband's, that's our theme song, is to be able to love like Christ loved us. In a little bit. I know I'll never reach that total perfection, but just a little bit the way He has loved me. I just want to be able to do that for others.
Take that step, take a deep breath, even if it's scary, and your life will be impacted in ways that you wouldn't even guess right now. And it's going to be exciting to see what God does.
I would challenge people to find an area of service where you know God can use you. And it takes looking back at, you know, what passions has God put in your heart? What abilities has He given you? And then it comes to a point of just taking a leap. And if there's an opportunity there, say, I'm gonna give it a shot. And you may try it and find that's not the right place of service for you, but you might try it and find this is exactly what God needs you and wants you to be doing at this time in your life. But it takes going. It takes making that step, taking that leap, and deciding to serve.
You just got to get out there and believe that the blessings that God has given you are meant to be a blessing to others.
Go out there and work for the Lord and share His love with everybody.
Go!
Go!
Go.
Go.